Hello my friends, welcome to the ThePCelitist, a channel dedicated to video game reviews and commentary. And as always, from the PC perspective, my name is Woodsie.
And I am known around my bedroom as Shepherd.
You are indeed. And today we're not reviewing a game at all. Which surprises you more than anybody, I think.
It surprises me a great deal. I was promised free pizza and a game review. When I showed up, it was just stupid old ugly you and a discussion about God knows what.
And our roommate playing NBA
2K11 completely naked.
But that's all besides the point.
Yes.
Because we're here to have a discussion about a thought I had earlier today.
There is a first time for everything.
Yes.
Thanks for teeing that one up.
I'm a deep thinker. Yeah. But there's a company that made an announcement last week that I feel will shift the community in video games towards a pro PC area. I don't know how to end that sentence, but into some good news for PC games. And I bet you can't guess what company it is.
Chef Boyardee.
No.
Okay, well they did make an announcement last week.
They did?
Yes.
What?
They are going to continue making shitty soups.
Okay, good. For PC gamers?
No, for everyone.
Oh, okay. Well, when they start marketing towards PC gamers individually, no, the company is Nintendo.
Old school.
Yeah, and anyone listening to this might think, but what? Nintendo?
What kind of people are these?
I don't know.
Who think that?
Our listeners.
Yes. Well, I'm very proud at
Well,
this moment to be part of the ThePCelitist.
But why? Let me explain you something. Okay?
Yes.
Nintendo announced its new system last week. I think it was last week. It may have been earlier this week. But E3 is around, and now everyone's hyped up about the new Nintendo Wii U.
Me?
No, Wii U.
Me. Wii U is grammatically retarded.
Right. Well, they're Japanese. Doesn't translate correctly.
Yes, but the fact that they can't pronounce L sounds doesn't mean Wii U makes sense.
Well, it is called the Wii U. It's got the little Wii and there's a little U. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Wii, because I'm ready for that phase to die in a horrible fire already. But I digress. Continue.
Yes. They introduced their new system, which comes with yet another gimmicky controller. And it's all backwards compatible, and it works with the old gimmicky controllers, which I actually enjoy. Because
I do enjoy me some Wii Golf.
Yeah, it is fun. And I feel that Nintendo is the only console system that knows its place in the universe, that it's a console.
Yes, it does not try to be what it's not.
Right. And then you get the other consoles that create these bastard children video games that try to be both, and nobody's happy except for children.
Yes.
But how does Nintendo announcing this affect PC? Well, I have a theory, and that is that as Microsoft and PlayStation 3...
You might want to start writing this down, Chid.
Yes.
Just... Yeah.
Microsoft and PlayStation 3 were a couple Johnny-come-latelys to the motion capturing gameplay style. Because I think a lot of people thought that what the Wii was doing was just a joke. Like, no one's going to care about this motion crap. But what they didn't realize, Microsoft and PlayStation, was that they tapped into a market that was the casual gamer crowd. Older people and even younger people that normally play games.
Disaffected gamers.
Right. Right. It was a cheap console. So they tapped into something that they didn't realize could be tapped. At the level it was tapped. That thing sold like crazy. So now they're coming out with a new gimmick. And PlayStation and Xbox are probably, if this catches on as well, their new tablet style of controller, then they're going to try to create something that counters it so that no one has the corner of the market on this new thing. What that means for PC is that I feel that there's a segment of the hardcore crowd of the consoles who will get kind of left in the dust. Because as consoles progress more and more deeply into this gimmicky style of gameplay, there's going to be less money, less funds directed towards the quote-unquote hardcore games. Like, Halo and Call of Duty will never go away.
Console shooters will remain, but they will probably be underfunded.
They'll be underfunded, or you'll have way less of them. You'll just have the really big titles, and then they'll keep wanting to come out with Dance Dance Revolution titles. Because if you could sell a Dance Dance game that costs $600,000, $800,000 to make, versus Call of Duty, which takes like $5 million to make, and they both sell for $40, and one sells for the same amount, like, where do you think big companies are going to go to? They're going to go to the cheaper, and they don't care. Like, Sony and Microsoft, in the end, don't care. And EA doesn't care the quality of your video games that are hitting your console.
Yes, it is the newfangled straight cash homie business model.
Exactly. They're not going to discriminate a game because they don't feel that it doesn't sell well. I mean, that it's not like targeting the hardcore enough. So I feel that you're going to see a shift, again, if this Wii thing catches on and these other two consoles feel they have to play catch-up, that more of your PlayStation 3 shelf and more of your Xbox 360 shelf will be dedicated to these gimmicky style gameplays. And people are going to look for, I want more from my games. And I think even right now there's people playing consoles who want that like next step in first-person shooters. Like, I'm tired of playing this whole Call of Duty thing again and again and again.
I think, very good points. And for those watching at home, this is what you call visionary, folks. Just saying. I think that PlayStation has enough of a lead over the 360 with the PS3 to rest a little bit on its laurels, in the sense that they can experiment into this new market of this interactive controller phenomenon that the Wii has brought about. That they have something to fall back on because the PS3 is still thriving. They keep driving down the price, developing new games, and improving the online system. Microsoft with the 360, which is about as old as we are, it feels.
Right.
I mean, it feels like forever ago since the 360 came out.
It's like 7 years, isn't
Something
it?
like that. And in video games, that's pretty ancient. But I think that Microsoft has to look and say, okay, Nintendo's already leading the charge well in the other direction. PlayStation is soon to follow. Do we want to get into a three-horse race? Or do we want to stand on our own? And by that I mean, are they going to try and develop the next super console?
Right.
That PlayStation 3 promised to do, and a lot of people did do. They improved on a lot of... They waited until 360 had all of its problems, and they decided to build upon those. Even though I still feel that their online content isn't as good as Xbox Live, but they're both just not anywhere near what PC online content is.
Right.
But I would contend that, if anything, I think Microsoft would try and let those two duke it out over this, what could be a trendy fad, and it may not be here to stay past the next couple of years, and they may think more long term. Because Sony and Microsoft, these companies obviously aren't stupid, but it seems that they are very adept at making a quick buck, like you've been saying. And I wonder if Microsoft is going to look at what Nintendo did and say, look, Nintendo decided us to duke it out, to let us duke it out. They went in a new direction. Maybe we could do the same thing.
Right. I feel that from a business standpoint, adding a peripheral later is more expensive than making the system with the peripheral. That's why peripherals on PC never catch on. Like, unique peripherals, like everyone has a steering wheel, I think, in their closet at some time, and everyone has a joystick.
I have a joystick that I bought and used for a game for about 20 minutes.
Right.
Never used it again.
I used to use my joystick for Battlefield 2.
Yeah. Well, I always flew with a mouse, and I think it showed.
So, I think that the PlayStation for them to play catch-up is expensive. So once they start investing in selling hardware, developing hardware, they literally had no intention to go into this motion control, as far as I knew. And everyone in the community, when the console wars were happening, what's the best console? Blah blah blah. Everyone said basically the same thing. Wii is for kids and old people, and it's a gimmick. And the hardcore crowd is Xbox and PlayStation. Well, that's not entirely true, because now they have Kinects and the PlayStation Move. So they obviously think there's some validity to it. Do they think there's validity to this new Nintendo thing? I don't know. But if it shows that there's a lot of interest in it, they're definitely going to do something, and it's going to cost them money, and then they're going to want games, software, to make up for the fact that they just spent all this cash on it. Not to mention that the fact that the new Nintendo system is now more powerful than both their systems, and it's coming out next year. So they're going to have to jump on something quick. So I was just opening the discussion because I think it is a shift that might be seen. I think the hardcore crowd, quote unquote, on consoles are looking for that next step. And if the companies they invest in, Sony and Microsoft, if their next step is gimmick gameplay, motion stuff, they're going to look for something else. And I think the answer to that is PC gaming, or Atari comes back and makes a monster console.
Yes. Or the way I frame it is, I hope people realize that in general, and again, this is a broad sweeping stroke of generality, people will come to realize PC is the platform that makes games for specific groups of people, as opposed to let's make a game that appeals to as many people as possible and just try and make as much money as we can.
Right.
We've seen that happen in PCs, and it's really a damn shame. But I think the PC offers games like Magica, for example. This is a game that is not going to sell 50 million copies. It's going to sell a fraction of that, but everyone who plays it is going to love it.
Yeah.
And that's something you don't really get on consoles, at least not in my experience. It may happen on the Wii, for casual gamers, but for hardcore gamers, I don't think the console is going to continue to provide games that are made for you. It's going to be a game that, look, let's make it flashy and pretty, and not even that pretty.
Right. I think there definitely would be a move if this moves in the way I think it might, and things keep catching on like Steam, because actually the biggest problem with PC gaming is piracy.
Yeah, Steam is the future of PC gaming. Period.
Right. If it shows good numbers and it is a console upon itself, that people like to buy games on Steam, which a lot of people do. There's millions of users on Steam. I think you will see a shift of people coming back to see what PC, especially like Battlefield 3. They claim that they made the game for PC and then pulled it back, scaled it back for the consoles to put it on there.
Yeah.
I would open up the boards, the comments, to discuss the move of consoles in general and if it would affect the PC. Also, if you love your PC and you were a big fan of the Battlefield series,
hug your monitor right now. If you love your PC, hug your monitor right now.
And then comment that you hugged it.
Yes.
And if you're a PC fan and you loved Battlefield, buy it. Don't steal it.
Yes.
I can't stand the excuse, I only buy the games that I feel the developers really
deserve the money.
Deserve it, yeah.
Yes. Well, they only make games for people who will enjoy them legally.
So please comment down below and subscribe if you like the content on this site.
Yeah, let us know what you think, because honestly, Woodsie knows what he's doing. I really have no idea. So we're looking for some feedback.
Yeah, we would love feedback. We care more people's opinions when they're subscribers, just to point that out.
Yes, yeah, if you want us to read your comment with any sense of seriousness, please do subscribe, and we'll know. Don't think you can comment and then subscribe later. We'll know.
We'll know the difference.
Because with only 3 subscribers, we can see if you're a subscriber or not.
Right.
But with 1,000 subscribers, dare I say 1 billion. If we get 1 billion subscribers, every single one will get free cake.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is our opinion on the subject. Please comment. Again, please subscribe. My name is Woodsie.
My name is Shepard.
And this is the ThePCelitist signing out.